And it's Arcanine PC. We're by far the greatest team that the world has ever seen. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? You can call me Kai Guy. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And if this is your first time here, then welcome to you. I am your coach of the Arcanine Pokemon Club. That's Arcanine PC for short, and we are here for our Week 3 battle in the Naheima Battle Association, the NBA, going up against Snivy this week, and we've got a very, very solid team, as do they. Gonna give you guys a quick breakdown of what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing it, why I chose the Pokemon that I did, and then the battle, of course, will follow. First up for Snivy's team, I'll have a picture on screen for you guys. Snivy's got Gliscor, Goldengo, Kingambit, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Mega Venusaur, Empoleon, a Rotom Heat that can Terrastalize, a Noivern that can Terrastalize, and Rhydon. Very, very solid team. Very solid Fire, Water, Grass core in the Mega Venusaur, Empoleon, Rotom Heat. Not gonna lie, Rotom Heat was something that was definitely on my radar during draft. I'm a little upset I didn't get it. But we got Moltres and Mega Manectric to fill our Fire and Electrics anyway, so you get the idea. But Rotom Heat was definitely on my radar. It was something I did want, so I got sniped a little bit, but it's fine. These are the 6 I'm going to be bringing this week, and I think we've got a pretty good matchup for the most part into his team. The main thing I'm scared of is primarily the Kingambit. Honestly, Kingambit terrifies me, which is why we have a new member on the team, which you're going to meet very shortly. But also, yeah, like the Kingambit terrifies me. Everything else, I think we have a decent answer, but Kingambit, and to a degree, Goldengo literally scared the daylights out of me. So I've tried to assemble my best 6 here, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up the Dubski this week against Snivy. But let's go ahead and see what Pokemon we are bringing this week for the battle. First up is Rhea, our Q-Rim, holding the Life Orb with the Pressure ability, with Roost, Ice Beam, Earth Power, and Draco Meteor. So, I'm not going to lie, there were a lot of different variations of this Q-Rim. At one point, I had Focus Blast on this thing. At another point, I had Psychic on this thing. But what I ended up deciding to do, another point, I think I did have Freeze Dry, but it didn't really do much outside of the Urshifu Rapid Strike, when I have Psychic for that plus the Mega Venusaur anyway. So that one got quickly out of there very fast. So I eventually settled on Draco Meteor just to hit things super hard, whereas Ice Beam plus Earth Power goes crazy into his team. Ice Beam hits the Gliscor, Earth Power hits the Goldengo, Kingambit gets hit by the Earth Power. Mega Venusaur, before or really even after it Megas, it takes a lot from Ice Beam. Empoleon gets hit by the Earth Power. Rhydon gets hit by Ice Beam. Noivern gets hit by Ice Beam. Everything gets, like, hit really hard by this combination of moves. And then Draco Meteor is there just say, I'm clicking the nuke button. Like, that's honestly what it is here for, especially on something like the Mega Venusaur. We can get big damage off on, especially because I believe on physically defensive Venusaur, a Ice Beam to Draco guarantee kills. Based on the calcing I was doing, which, as we've seen in previous battles, I'm not the best with calcs, it's fine. But based on what I've seen, Ice Beam to Draco Meteor picks up the KO on physically defensive Venusaur basically every time. So, it seemed like a no-brainer, just to hit really hard. Life Orb there to boost the power of our moves. And we're rocking max attack, or max special attack, max speed on this thing, just to hit as hard and be as fast as possible. Next up is Linhardt, our Slowking, holding the leftovers with the Regenerator ability, and the moves Chilly Reception, Psychic Noise, Scald, and Flame Thrower. So, couple of things with this Pokemon. Chilly Reception is here. While it does give Q-Rim Snow, the main thing I want Chilly Reception for is to be able to swap out. That's the main thing I'm worried about. Because I don't really, there's a lot of Pokemon that I think can switch in freely into my Slowking for the most part, and I don't really want that. Something like an Empoleon, something like a Mega Venusaur, something like a Kingambit, like a Goldengo. I really need Slowking this week because I need a good specially defensive backbone for the team, but Slowking also has a bad matchup into quite a few Pokemon. And I originally was going to run this thing physically defensive for the Urshifu, but I ended up not doing so. But what we decided to do instead is just to run this thing specially defensive with Chilly, just so if I think the opponent's going to bring in something that scares me, I can just be like, I'm gone later, and just get the heck out. And then Leftovers there to heal ourselves up, Regenerated to heal ourselves up even more when we switch. Good combo with the Chilly Reception there. Psychic Noise is there for the Venusaur, as well as something like the Goldengo on switch-in, making so they can't go for Recover or go for the Synthesis. Also works on the Empoleon, so it can't go for Roost. So we can get that off to make sure they can't heal up on our next switch-in, that kind of thing. So that can be pretty helpful. We've also got Scald here just for general damage. Hits the Rotom Heat, has a chance to burn the Kingambit, does good damage to Gliscor, does good damage to Rhydon. all that cool stuff. And then Flamethrower is also here primarily for King Gambit plus Golden Go. If I really am sure they're going to come in, I can just click Flamethrower and maybe get some big damage off on this thing, on those things, because Slowking's base special attack is 100. It's not that bad. So we can get a little bit of chippies off on him. But primarily, the main reason, the main thing I'm going to be doing with Slowking, if I fear a Golden Go or a King Gambit coming in, is clicking the Chilly Reception button, because we want out of there. Then we're rocking max HP, max special defense on this thing, so that way we can be a specially defensive tank. So yeah, that's going to be Linhardt this week. Introducing the newest member of the Arcanine Pokemon Club. We underwent some transfers in the free agency window, kind of like how you might see in your average everyday soccer league and everything, or football league for those across the pond. The way it works is you can swap out Pokemon that are equal to a certain number of points to others. So like, for example, the two Pokemon, I had to drop two Pokemon to get this thing. I dropped our Obstagoon and I dropped our Sandaconda, because this kind of just fills both of their roles, truthfully. Like, the main thing I wanted them to do for Sandaconda was be defensively bulky and give me Stealth Rocks. And then for Obstagoon, I just wanted something that was a Dark type, so I can't just be Psychic or Ghost spammed all day. Granted, the normal typing stat was pretty nice, but still. But Frederick here kind of does both of those things, and it has better moves to boot, and it's bulkier. It just seemed like a no-brainer. It really just did. So we are rocking on Frederick this week. This is our new team member. We are rocking the Leftovers with the Vessel of Ruin ability. The way that works is it lowers the special attack of the Pokemon on the opposite side of the field by, I believe, 33%. So about a third, which is pretty solid, letting it to be both physically defensive and specially defensive all at once. We got Spikes, so that's one good thing about this thing. I have Spikes plus Stealth Rock on this thing, so we can get up multiple different hazards. Memento, so if we need to just get out of something, or like if something gets a bit out of hand, we can click Memento on it and get rid of all of its attacking stats. Or we can use Memento as a means to get in one of our sweepers or faster mons, like the Rhea, like the Lucina, like the Sita. One of those. So that's why I decided to put Memento on that, just to like get out and like basically be a sacrificial lamb almost. But it also sits on a lot of his team, which is pretty nice. It's a pretty good mon that can just eat up a lot of different hits here and there and not have to worry about the consequences of them. Ruination lowers the opponent's HP by exactly 50%, so it's like Super Fang essentially. And then Bulldoze is just there for speed control. Primarily, it also does a little bit of chip damage to the King Gambit, to the Empoleon, to the Golden Go, that kind of stuff. And also, if depending on what Terra's the Rotom, actually no, it can't hit the Rotom because the Rotom has Levitate. But if the Noivern brings something that we can hit it with, like if it's not Terra Flying or something, then we can hit it with Bulldoze as well. Lower its speed to make it easier for some of our other Pokemon to outspeed and revenge kill it. So that's why we're doing that. And then we got max HP on this thing, a good amount of defense, and a little bit of Spadef this week. Primarily going to be a physically defensive mon, I would say, with the option to go specially defensive into something like the Rotom Heat or the Golden Go. But for the most part, we'll probably be running this thing physically defensive just to eat up hits here and there. Next up is Sita, our Moltres, running the heavy-duty boots as always with the Flame Body ability. But we're running an offensive Moltres this week. And that is because offensive Moltres goes stupid into his team. It looks so good. Flamethrower hits the Golden Go, the King Gambit. Hurricane hits the Mega Venusaur. The Urshifu does really good damage to Gliscor. Originally, I did have Scorching Sands on this thing as well for the Empoleon, but I thought it'd be fine with what we got because I can always just U-turn out with momentum. But yeah, offensive Moltres looked really good, so I decided to give it a bring this week and see if it can put in some work. We're rocking U-turn on this thing for momentum because we don't really have a lot of momentum this week besides this and Chilly Reception, so I thought it'd be a good idea. Flamethrower is just there for be General Fire Stab. Hurricane is there to be General Flying Stab. And I do have Defog this week on Moltres. I thought about putting... I had Scorching Sands originally, but I ended up taking it off. I originally had Defog on the Scizor, and I took it off of that and put this on the Sita just to give Scizor an extra move because... again, I'm terrified of King Gambit, so I give Scizor a fighting type move, as you'll see later, because I'm terrified of that Pokemon. It is stupid. So I gave this thing Defog so that I can just get rid of hazards, and maybe it could be a switch into a late game King Gambit and get a burn off. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Next up is Lucina. Oh, and then, sorry, excuse me. We're running max special attack and max speed on this thing. Next up is Lucina, our team captain, our SNEASLER, holding the Citrus Bear with the Unburdened ability. And the moves Swords Dance, Acrobatics, Throat Chop, and Close Combat. Again, this Pokemon also goes stupid into this team, truthfully. Max attack on this thing with Adamant just makes sure we hit as hard as possible, especially with Swords Dance. 36 speed puts me at 285, with Unburden will outspeed his entire team. I believe the Noivern caps out, I want to say, at like 5 something. I think 570 is like what, I think it's Choice Scarf Noivern hits, I want to say. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know why I picked this. I'm pretty sure I was trying to speed creep something. My assumption is the Noivern. I can't remember. I built this team like 3 days ago. I'm assuming that was my thought process, was to outspeed his entire team. I'm assuming that's what I did. My assumption is that's what I did in order to outspeed his entire team. Anyway, Acrobatics, Throat Chop, a Close Combat for the moveset, and SD to boost our physical attack. This kind of array of moves just goes stupid. Outside of the Gliscor, nothing can really switch into this set of moves. Acrobatics hits the Mega Venusaur and the Urshifu. Close Combat hits the King Gambit and the Empoleon. Acrobatics also hits the Urshifu Rapid Strike. Throat Chop hits the Golden Go. We got a good variety of moves that hit into him very nicely. So that's why we're running those moves. And gonna put a bulk on this thing too, because like I mentioned, we only need a certain amount of speed this week after we get our Unburden up. So hopefully we can actually make Unburden Sneasler work this time and not die doing a Mulga. I'm looking at you back there, pal. Anyway, so hopefully we can make that work. And last but not least, we have Saber, our Scizor, holding the leftovers with the Technician ability. And we're rocking Terra Steel this week with the moves Roost, Close Combat, Dual Wing Beat, and Knockoff. Primarily a defensive Terra this week, just so we can eat up a little bit of extra hits and stuff, like not have to worry about stuff from like the like a Flamethrower from a Noivern as much. I thought about doing Terra Water as well, but Terra Water makes me susceptible to Venusaur, and Mega Venus. This is like my main switch into Mega Venusaur because it can do literally nothing to me. And it's also a good switch into some other Pokemon. I thought putting Terra Water on this thing made it less useful in that regard. So I decided to go Terra Steel. Hopefully it ends up working out. But we're running the leftovers on this thing with Technician to boost the power of our Dual Wing Beat, to do some good damage on the Scizor and catch it by surprise, maybe. Then Roost is there to heal ourselves up. Close Combat is there for the King Gambit primarily, because that thing scares the heck out of me. And then Knockoff is there primarily for Golden Go and maybe to catch a Gliscor off guard with a Knockoff. That is why we are running that. Max HP, max defense on this thing, just to be a good physically defensive threat and eat up hits and be able to get our other Pokemon in a little bit safely. So that's the team we're going to be bringing this week versus Snivy. Let me know what you guys think of the team down in the comments. Hopefully you like it, because I hope they can put in the work. Let me know what you would have done differently. Let me know what you like as well, though. Yeah, that should be good to go on my end. So I'm going to go ahead and get connected here with Snivy. We're going to hop into the battle in a second. So I will see you guys in just a moment. Alright, we are back. We are linked up with Snivy, and it's time for the battle. As for their team, brought a lot of what I figured they would. The Golden Ghost seemed like it was a pretty good bring-in to me. I'm not going to lie. It's the thing that scared me on his team the most. The Mega Venusaur is also going to be a little bit terrifying. Hopefully we can work around it a little bit. Surprised to see no King Gambit. Honestly, that kind of sucks a little bit, but I think we should be able to make it work. Possible leads on his team. I could honestly just see him leading with the Noivern and just clicking like Boom Burst or something. Or U-turn, or even just something like leading his Gliscor and getting his rocks up. I could definitely see that being the case as well. And Empoleon could also be rocked, or it could be set up. You gotta keep that in mind. I think I'm gonna just lead with my Moltres here. Because it matches up pretty well into everything that is not the Noivern. I'll lead Moltres. He's going to lead the Venusaur as we lead Moltres. I don't think he's going to want to stay in here by any means. And if he stays in here, that is like the ballsiest play I've ever seen, and honestly, I kind of respect it. But there's no reason you should stay in on me when I have a Flying Fire type in with a Grass Poison type. So I'm going to be clicking the U-turn here. Why is he staying in? What? I don't think that makes any sense, but alright. I don't think that really makes a lot of sense. Unless he's going for a Sleep Powder, which could be the case. If so, Scizor's my Sleep Sack. He is going to go for the Sleep Powder. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. What could he possibly want to bring in here? Is he... Well, I don't think he'd want to stay in on my Scizor. I almost put safety goggles on this thing, and I kind of wish I would have. I don't think he would want to stay in on my Scizor. But at the same time, why would you stay in when I have a Moltres? I don't think that my Hurricane O-code, but it probably would have been pretty close. So here I could definitely just see him going for a knockoff. I could see him maybe clicking the Rotom button, maybe. I feel like Rotom makes the most sense. I don't want to go Frederick, because if he goes for a grass move, that's annoying. I guess Lucina could be a possible play. And I can just double out, maybe. I'll go Lucina. He does bring in the Rotom. Which is what I expected. Part of me just wants to punch this thing in the face. Because it is Terra Steel, I did see that. Other options are we go for the Throat Chop. I'm assuming he's bulky Rotom. Like, that would be my assumption here. I really wish I would have put Lumberry on my SNEASLER. It could end up outspeeding me if it's max speed. How much do I take from this thing? If he's max speed, how much do I take? SNEASLER versus Rotom Heat. If he is Choice Scarf, Overheat does a good amount to me. But I do live it. If he's bulky, he's gonna live my close combats. I'm just gonna fire off a CC, I guess. He is gonna bring in the Venusaur. I kinda wish I didn't CC there. Because I honestly think I live... Do I live with Mega Venusaur Earth Power? Do I live a Mega Venusaur Earth Power? Oh, I lived it so comfortably if I didn't... do I live it with -1? Do I live it with -1? Let's see. If I'm -1 Spadef... if he's got special attack investment, I don't. So I don't think I want to stay in here. I think I'll just go out into... I could go Saber and burn a Sleep Turn. That might not be a bad play. Otherwise, I could go Rhea, and that would help me see if he's offensive or not, and I could fire off some free damage. He also might just go for a what's it called here? A Synthesis? Rhea looks really good if I can get it going, so I don't know if I want to make that switch. How much does Seeda take from this thing? Sludge Bomb hurts quite a bit, actually, and I don't Oko him back. And then Kyurem. Kyurem doesn't take much. I guess I go Kyurem and I hope I don't get poisoned. As he goes for Leech Seed. Okay. I'm gonna call his bluff here on the double. And I'm gonna go into Saber and try and burn Sleep Turns. He's gonna Sludge Bomb. Okay. I'm gonna just try and burn some Sleep Turns here, so I'm gonna go for the dual Wing Beat. If he goes for Leech Seed, that's fine. I'm okay with burning the Sleep Turn here. I'm gonna go for Roost now. I don't care if he wants to stay in here. If need be, I have a free swap out. Alright, the Gliscor comes in. I'm getting a Roost up. This thing's gonna come in. I kind of wish I would have clicked Knock Off that turn. That would have been really huge for me. What would he want to go into here? If he's max speed Gliscor, I do speed tie with him, which kind of sucks. I think he's just gonna U-turn, personally. I think he just U-turns. Either that or he gets his rocks up. One of the two. He either's gonna U-turn or he's gonna get his rocks up. I feel like the U-turn is the better play for him. I feel like the U-turn is the better play for him. I'm gonna go Linhardt. He's gonna Stone Edge. I'm real glad I didn't bring in my Moltres. That's good. Which makes me think he might have some speed investment here. I'm just gonna go ahead and Chili out. Hang on and see what he wants to go for here. He goes out into the Empoleon. Okay. I think my switch into SNEASLER is kind of free. Because the sword, I definitely outspeed it, and a close combat's gonna hurt that thing a lot. Alternatively, I could go Rhea and click Earth Power. If they're specially defensive, Earth Power does 48 to 59. I'm gonna do it. And then I'm gonna assume I want to drop a Draco here so bad because I feel like the switch in is obvious for the Rotom Heat. I feel like the Rotom Heat switch in is pretty obvious for this Pokemon, especially if it's specially defensive. Or maybe even the Venusaur is gonna come in. I'm gonna drop a Draco. Oh, he stays in. Dang it. I wanted that play so bad, dude. He's gonna roar me out. That's okay. Alright, that's actually like best case scenario, I think. I'm just gonna click CC, I think. If he brings in the Gliscor, that's fine. Or should I SD? I'm gonna CC. I'm just gonna go for a little bit of chip damage. He does bring in the Gliscor, that's fine. Get some chippies off. Good damage. Good damage. He's gonna get that back with the Poison Heal, though. My switch in is Saber 100% of the time. He's gonna set up spikes. That is fine. I will be going for the knockoff here. Alright, I get a knockoff on the Rotom. Get its item gone. It's Rocky Helmet no longer. He might make a wild play and click an electric type move here. He might make the wildest play of the century and click an electric move here. Otherwise, he could just click Overheat on me. How much does Frederick take? How much does Frederick take from this thing? Rotom Heat. We'll say if he's Rocky Helmet, he's probably defensive. Like physically defensive. Frederick. Overheat does nothing to me. I'm going into Frederick. I'll just go Frederick here. He's gonna T-Wave me and do 0. Alright, I will be clicking the Ruination here just to get some chippies off on something. He's gonna Will me. I don't care. I don't really care. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna Ruinate again. He's gonna Reflect. This is gonna be a dumb play, but trust. I need this. I need these screens gone. If he, how much does Moltres take? Moltres, how much do you take, girl? Oh, that's level 50. No wonder it's doing like 0 to me. I think my play should just be to go... Dang, I kind of wish I kept Defog on my Scizor. I feel like the Ceta play is a throw because Volt Switch hurts me so much. I'm gonna go out into How much does Linhardt take? Not a ton. I'm gonna go Linhardt and attempt to Skull. He's gonna go Empoleon. Okay. I'm just gonna chilly out here. I'm just gonna chilly out. What's he gonna do? He's gonna Toxic me. That's fine. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. So last time he didn't make the play. Last time he stayed in. I'm gonna click the Earth Power this time. No. I'm thinking... Oh, I want to Roost here. I want to Roost here so bad, man. I feel like the Noivern or Rotom switch is pretty obvious. I'm gonna Earth Power. I'm gonna Earth Power. Just get some big damage off on this thing. How much do you take, little buddy? Kyurem into the Empoleon. If he's specially defensive, that's 48 to 58. I could go for a double here. I think I'll just Earth Power. I'll just go for the Earth Power. Because if he's not specially defensive, he's going to take some big damage. And if he is, then the only thing he can really bring in is probably the Noivern. Which, don't get me wrong, Noivern does scare me. But I've got Bulldoze on my Tinglu for after it terastallizes, thankfully. I kind of want to Roost, actually. Just get back up to full. Just get nice and back up to full. Yeah, I'm gonna Roost. I think Roost is better for me in the long run, just keeping Rhea healthy. The only issue is if he Toxics here. That's a bit of a dagger. I know he only has 2 turns of Reflect left because the Rotom said it. Is he no attacks on Rotom? Is he double status no attacks? What? That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. I'm just gonna Earth Power. 53, good damage. I'm guessing he just Toxics me? No, he's gonna get Rocks up. That's okay. I'm gonna Roost up once on him. Because I think I live any hit. And then I could probably bring in Seer to get the Defog off afterwards. And that lets me stall out his last turn of Reflect. I'm gonna Roost, just get back up to full. I could KO this thing. Well, actually, doesn't this thing get Roost? Does Empoleon get Roost? It does get Roost. I don't really want it roosting in my face. I don't really want it clicking Roost in my face. I'll just Earth Power here. I want a Draco again, but if he didn't do it once, I don't think he does it again. I don't foresee him doing it twice if he didn't do it the first time. Ah. Does Ice Beam KO this thing? Does Ice Beam KO this thing? Rotom Heat. Defensive. At level 100. Ice Beam does KO him if he has got no special defense enlistment. He goes on to the Golden Go here, which is going to take some damage. I haven't seen an item on this thing yet. I have not seen an item on this thing yet. which it means it could be choiced in some manner, but if he's dual screens, I don't think he'd be choiced. I think he'd be setup. Does this thing get like some setup I don't know about? I mean, I'm sure it gets Nasty Plot. I'm sure it gets Nasty Plot, right? Yeah, it does get Nasty Plot. I'm not crazy. So, Golden Go. If he's offensive, my Ice Beam did 29 to him, so he's got a little bit of bulk. He's got a little bit of bulk in him. He's got a wee bit of bulk to his body. I want to Earth Power this thing so bad, but if he Scarf and outspeeds me, that blows. Because he brought this thing in like it's Choice Scarf. Like, he straight up was just like, here I am, I'm gonna outspeed and kill you. Because if he's not Scarf, I'm pretty sure I KO him based on this damage range. Like, he might have some HP investment. Like, let's say I got a low roll. If I did 29... Earth Power does 77 min if it was a low roll. But if he's Scarf, then the Gliscor becomes really annoying if he's Scarf. The Gliscor becomes super annoying. I'm hitting it. Oh, okay. I'll take damage. I'll take damage off. That's fine. He's just probably switching around. That's fine by me. I'll take damage off on that thing. Maybe he was trying to get the Empoleon into Roost. Maybe. So if he's not max speed on his Gliscor, the only thing he has that outspeeds me is the Noivern. Because I know guaranteed... I'm pretty sure he's not Scarf on the Golden Go now. I think he's not. Just the way he did that seemed off to me. I'm assuming the Noivern comes in here. I'm assuming the Noivern's going to want to come in here. That is my assumption. No, the Venusaur wants to come in here. Probably to go for a sleep. Ugh. Probably just trying to get some sleep going off. Part of me wants to go out into Linhardt. How much does this thing take? I feel like I do good damage to this thing, I'm not gonna lie. Venusaur, Mega. He's physically defensive. Earth Power only... Well, Ice Beam does good amount, does a good amount. Draco does a lot more. I'm just gonna go... Ah, dude, that's so tough, because I feel like he's gonna go for the sleep here. I feel like he's gonna try and go for the sleep here. I'm gonna go Saber and just see what he wants to do. He's gonna Sludge Bomb. That's good for me. I'm gonna attempt to Roost here. Just get back to full. Golden Go comes in. He brought that in pretty quickly, which is kind of weird. I'm just gonna go for the knockoff here. If he's like Nasty Plot, Agility, Weakness Policy, this could be annoying. But otherwise, like, I think my knockoff is kind of free. Like, I don't really know what all he does to me. I mean, yeah, like, a Shadow Ball is gonna hurt. A Shadow Ball is definitely gonna hurt, but I can get some big damage off on this thing. And this is the only thing that, like, really hurts Linhardt outside of the Venusaur. Recover. Okay. So I know for sure he's not Scarf. So he was Oka Berry. Okay. So he's the Oka Berry. Well, he doesn't have that berry anymore. If I go Sita here into Golden Go. If he's max special attack, a Shadow Ball does about 50%. I'm gonna go Sita, because I can either burn him. Alright, cool. If he wants to stay in, cool. If not, I'm just gonna get a defog off and get rid of these hazards. I'm gonna defog here. Because I guarantee outspeed him because I'm max speed. Gorgeous. I get my defog off. How much does this thing take? I believe it dies. I believe this thing dies. I believe in a world where this thing dies to this. 1000%. This is max special attack Moltres. I believe in the universe where this thing dies. I don't think you would be max Spadef Rocky Helmet. So I'm just gonna click the flamethrower here, man. Whatever. It does die. Alright. Awesome. Good stuff from Sita there. Let's go, baby. Out comes the Gliscor. Do I outspeed you? I do not. I do not. But I have a free switch in here with Linhardt, I think. He might... Is he max speed on the Gliscor? That's what I don't know. Do I have ways to beat the Venusaur? I think I do. I'm just gonna click Flamethrower. I get big damage off 50%. He's gonna high horsepower, and he, unfortunately for him, I was not switching it. Why would he high horsepower there? What was he predicting? Lucina, maybe? I mean, like, Hurricane kills this thing, right? So I think I just take the 70% shot. Yep, it's gone. Cool. The Gliscor is gone. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, now I need to keep Sita at all costs. I'm pretty sure you just die. Probably not, actually. I will be clicking the U-turn here and going into my Caesar. Sleep powders again, that's fine. I could go into Lucina here. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's gonna Leech Seed, that's fine. I'm gonna Swords Dance. I'm gonna Swords Dance. What is he gonna go for? Toxic? Why are you toxicing this thing? I will... So, I've seen his whole moveset. He cannot really touch me. I'll Swords Dance again. Sludge Bomb. And this should give me my Citrus. Yep. That might just be the game. This is +3 Acro. This is a +3 Acrobatics. Yup, goodbye. Out comes the Noivern. If he Terras, how much does this thing take? Let's find that out. So I'm a Sneasler. He is a Noivern. If I'm +3... +3 Throat Chop has a chance to KO him. +3 Throat Chop has a chance to KO him. Otherwise, like, the only thing I think he kills me with is Draco, because he is, as we've seen, the, what's it called? He is Terra Steel. I don't know if he would do it or not here, because he has to know I have CC, right? I'm gonna Throat Chop predicting. I'm gonna Throat Chop. I have ways around this. I'm gonna Throat Chop. I guarantee outspeed him. I'm 500, unless he's Choice Scarf Noivern, which if he is, good play. If he is Choice Scarf Noivern, great. He just dies to Throat Chop. Perfect. And then the Golden Goat comes in. And this also dies to Throat Chop. And your Arcanine PC, your Arcanine Pokemon Club, move to 2-1 on the season. That is what we like to see, baby. That is what we like to see, baby. Your Arcanine Pokemon Club moved to 2-1 this season after picking up the Dubski. That is what you like to see. SNEASLER putting in the work. The offensive Moltres putting in the work. Kyurem as always being a menace to society. That's what we like to see from you, team. Let's freaking go. Your Arcanine Pokemon Club moved to 2-1 this season. We are officially back in the win column. That is what we like to see. Let me know what you guys saw of the battle. How do you think I played? Did I play great? Did I play bad? Let me know in the comments. Really appreciate your thoughts on that, Morty. But overall, yeah, I thought we played that pretty well. As soon as I saw that the Venusaur didn't have much to hit me with, I was like, I mean, there's nothing really stopping me from going for this. The only thing you can bring in is Noivern. So we were kind of just free from there. As soon as we got that Citrus Berry up, we were good to go. So yeah, we move into the dubs column. That's what we like to see. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are new around here, please consider subscribing. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. I'd really appreciate if you could help me out on that goal. Also, leave a like on the I almost said the stream. Also, leave a like on the video. Click that thumbs up button. It helps me out a ton. Helps new people see the content. You might be interested in watching it as well. Your Arcanine PC, your Arcanine Pokemon Club are 2-1 in the NBA. That's what we like to see, baby. We are going to be back here next week for another exciting battle. But until then, as always, you guys, the only thing I have to say is peace.